Jon, because I'm the type to listen to your podcast with great interest, it won't surprise you to learn I made a list today of, let's call them, the darkest months in American history in a century's time. I put down the December of 41, September of 01, and the most recent entrant, we have to say, is April of 2020. In 1 month's time, we lost over 67,000 souls and 20 million jobs. But on this 75th VE Day anniversary, your task tonight, as is your charge in this podcast series, remind us how we got through the other stuff.
Blood, sweat, toil, and tears, as Churchill said when he became prime minister in May of 1940, another one of those months that changed everything. It wasn't easy. It's never been easy. To look back is not to be nostalgic. It's not to look back and sort of see Lowell Thomas and the march of time as if everything were inevitable. It's to remind us that people in the past faced seemingly insuperable obstacles before and overcame them. World War II is the defining drama in many ways of Western life, certainly, global life in so many ways. But remember, we didn't get in. You wrote down the month, December 1941. Hitler invaded Poland on September 1st, 1939. There were 80% of Americans didn't want to even sell weapons to Europe. Charles Lindbergh was the head of something, a phrase that has new resonance, America First. We got in the war after we were attacked by Japan and after Hitler declared war on us. It's one of the great things to remember was that Churchill, I think, had it exactly right when he said that you can always count on the Americans to do the right thing once they've exhausted every other possibility. And we were dragged into that. We did the right thing, but we did it. And I think the lesson of the moment is we don't know the lesson yet. But what we do know this is that it's going to require a kind of Marshall Plan of testing and rebuilding out of this.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.